Good afternoon, Big Blue Nation. It's Lee, that Kentucky basketball chick. We are coming to you for the first time in about 3 months. I'm so sorry that we have not done a podcast since, I think, January, but we've got a lot to talk about. Mainly SEC Tournament and March Madness. We have our March Madness bracket, and we just came back from the SEC Tournament. So I'm excited to talk about both. It's going to be great. So yeah, if you will, grab your cold, crisp, refreshing Dr. Pepper, and we'll get started. All right. So first things I want to talk about is the SEC tournament. My husband and I actually got to go. I in my head was thinking once we get, Kentucky's seating, we'll see when we would go. And we found out we were playing Wednesday, so I thought if we could get to Friday, we'll go. But all that changed when we started looking at tickets, and we actually found courtside tickets for Kentucky's game on Wednesday. And y'all, it was probably one of the coolest experiences. I loved every minute of it. I don't know if I'll ever be able to sit courtside again. I'm hoping I can, because y'all, not only did we get to see the game and we got to see all the, we were right there with the right up close with the players. Could see how tall and how big these guys were. It was really cool. When we first walked in, Denzel Aberdeen was actually walking out of the tunnel with us, not really with us, but coming out of the tunnel to go warm up. And it was really cool because we got to say, hey, I hope you have a good game, all that kind of fun stuff. But the whole experience as a whole, if you ever get the chance to go to the SEC tournament, I highly, highly recommend it. We were expecting get tickets lower level, maybe have to sit, in the second level, maybe third level. But we actually found as Kentucky kept going, some good tickets. We got to sit courtside Thursday. And then we sat in the lower level in the same section as the courtside on Friday. Still great seats. Courtside was cool because it was an all-inclusive type deal. There was something called the Lexus Lounge, and they had food, they had drinks, they had candy, they had popcorn, they had all sorts of stuff. And though we were only courtside for the first game or the Kentucky game, we could actually stay and watch the second game in the lounge. So we got to enjoy it even more. Highly, highly recommend that if you are able to do it. Because after thinking about what food costs, because that's third day, the Florida game, we paid for food. I mean, between the whole experience, it kind of leveled out. But we had a blast. Wish we would have beaten Florida. Y'all, we could have beaten Florida. If our shots had just fallen, we would have been able to do it. Vandy beat them the next day, kind of with the same game plan. So it was very doable. Todd Golden's comments after the game, I was not a fan of. I know we had lost, but they were so cocky. He said that we have played them, the Kentucky team, 120 minutes, and Kentucky never led once. Said that on the SEC network or ESPN. I can't remember who was there that day. He got humbled the next day because Vandy beat him by 20, 25 points. So thank you, Vandy. Thank you. Florida might be my new SEC rival personally, just personally. We'll talk about where they're going and stuff with March Madness and what seed they got in the next little section of this podcast. But overall, SEC tournament, y'all, did not end the way we wanted it to. I was hoping to get to at least Saturday, maybe even get to Sunday and have a whole weekend and week in Nashville. I love Nashville. I used to live there. But it did not end up that way. LSU was a great game. It's a great game. I thought it was called it was called pretty well. Missouri game. It was like we threw out the book that we were how we were officiating the LSU game. Of course, it was a totally different crew, and things that weren't fouls were. It was just crazy, the officiating. And then Florida, same deal. I still do not know what a flagrant to the face is. I still don't know. The LSU game, if you got hit in the face, it was a flagrant. In Missouri game and the Florida game, they reviewed it. I mean, Colin Chandler had a bloody nose, and they still didn't call it a flagrant. So I don't know. It'll be interesting now once we get into the March Madness, the NCAA tournament. We won't have all SEC crews. We'll have different crews, so it'll be interesting to see how Kentucky fares with officiating. Officiating, bottom line, is not why we lost. It's not why we lost, y'all. I never blame the officials, even in the Auburn game, even though that last call it did cost us the game, but we should never have been in that situation. So, congratulations to Arkansas. I have to say that. Congratulations to Cal. You got it done. He got it done. Y'all, that Darius Acuff he's a beast. Why he is not on any player of the year boards, I will not know. Maybe he will play his way into that. We'll see what happens this week and next week. But yeah, I'm excited. I hope I go to the SEC tournament next year. We are planning on it. The one cool thing, like if you are a KSR listener like I am, go to their shows while they're in Nashville. It's a lot of fun. It's usually at Tin Roof. I actually got on the broadcast. I was in a little contest. I did not win the contest. It was I completely blanked. I could not come up with a third Rick Pitino player to save my life, and someone in the crowd yelled Boogie, and now I'm like, that was stupid. Boogie is a Cal player, like not even a Tubby Smith player, but it was fun, and I got pictures with Matt, and I got pictures with Shannon, and got to talk to Drew. It was really cool experience. So if you listen to KSR, they got to shout out a little bit of that Kentucky basketball chick. So I thought that was fun. So yeah, definitely go to see the guys, the KSR. They always make it fun. I know some people aren't KSR fans, but I am, and it's really cool. All right, so let's talk now about the main event. One of the reasons basketball fans love basketball, and that is the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Where are we trying to get to? We are trying to get to the Final Four, which is in Indianapolis, Indiana, not too far from Western Kentucky where I'm at. And y'all, we could have gotten a worse draw. So I will say, I'm happy we're in St. Louis. We are 3 hours away from them. I would love to go. My husband I don't think can take off any more work, even though he owns his own business. He's been away a lot. So and we're about to go on vacation after the national championship. So we are probably not going to go to this one. I would love to go. This is one thing I do want to experience sometime. So I would love to go. We are playing Santa Clara, and we are starting off on Friday at 11:15 a.m. Central Time, which is 12:15 Eastern Time. We could have gotten a lot worse draw. Honestly, I know a lot of fans are nervous. I don't know much about Santa Clara. I know they shoot a lot of threes, and their 3-point percentages in the, I think, 30-ish percentile or whatever. But I don't know much about them, but a lot of people are nervous and thinking we could get upset. What I'd like to tell them is we are Kentucky. Is it a possibility? Oh, yeah, it's a possibility. You remember St. Peter's in Oakland? I do. Remember both of them. Could not believe that we got upset like that, especially in the first round. Oakland, I was on vacation when it happened. So, and in fact, that's how we started our vacation, by watching Kentucky lose to Oakland and Jack Golke, which, by the way, he is still kind of lurking around, and he always has. Kentucky getting upset. So, I think Kentucky will take care of business with Santa Clara. I do. I think people need to remember who we are. We are Kentucky. We are the gold standard. I know it hasn't felt like that, especially after the year that Cal left. And then, last year was exciting. We made it to the Sweet 16. This year's been a roller coaster. But we do have the puzzle pieces to make a really deep run. We do. And as a fan, we need to be positive. We need to be optimistic and say, heck yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to open up on Friday at 11:15 a.m. And guess what? Kentucky is going to get a win. Oway is going to score over 25 points. Aberdeen is going to score close to 20, and so is Chandler. Because if that three-headed goat that we're now calling them is on fire, we're unstoppable. Now, Santa Clara's colors are like an Oklahoma red. So, Garrison, I expect you to have a big game. That LSU game at the SEC tournament, oh my Lord, y'all. 2 threes. And he played his best game. So when you see that Santa Clara jersey, Garrison, and you see that Oklahoma red, I expect you to come out like it's Oklahoma. Same with Oway. Those two can really play when they think they're playing Oklahoma. So, after we are in the Midwest region, for the bottom of the Midwest region, we are a 7 seed. I think the 7 seed's about right. If we had beaten Florida, I think we would have been bumped up to a 6 seed. We will play the winner of Iowa State versus Tennessee State. I don't know, y'all. I just have this feeling Iowa State may not make it past the first round. Tennessee State may surprise all of us. Or I could be completely wrong with my intuition. But one of those teams and both of those teams are very beatable. After that, there's a big possibility that we could get our Sweet 16 revenge on Tennessee. We could meet them in the Sweet 16 once again. Don't know how that happened, but it has. And I think we'll beat that team for the third time. I know the saying of beating the same team 3 times is really, really hard. I think this is not the team of last year with, Mark Connect, Meshack. Now, they do have this year Nate Mint and Gillespie, but I think we can beat them. I mean, we have we've beaten them both times, and we're down double digits both times. So I think it's very possible we could do that. After that, our bracket, the number ones, I think Virginia is the next. Matt Jones of KSR. I heard him on his ESPN show with Myron Metcalf, and then also I'm bringing up the bracket, and then also talk, on KSR. Virginia's the 3 seed. So if Virginia were to make it, past, which they've won the championship once, but every other time they've gotten taken out. So that's who Tennessee would have to beat. We are in the Michigan. Michigan's the number 1 seed. So we would have to beat them to make it to the Final Four, possibly, if they don't get upset. So overall, I think our region, we couldn't have asked for a better region, in all honesty. But we'll have to see. Let's talk about the rest of the bracket. The number 1 overall is Duke. No surprise there. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Duke without Caleb Foster. They still have Cameron Boozer. They're still a very, 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 very good team. But it'll just be interesting. That East region, which is where they are at, is completely loaded. You got St. John's as the 5 seed, Kansas as the 4, Michigan State as the 3, and UConn as the 2. That's a very hard region. So happy we are not the 7 seed in that one because we would have had to play possibly UConn. I don't see UConn getting upset by Furman. Let's talk about the West. The West, Arizona is the 1 seed. Arizona, if I take my blue glasses off, Arizona's been the team that I've said from the beginning, since like November, is probably going to cut down the nets this year. My blue glasses are on. It's always Kentucky. But if I take them off, Arizona, all the way. Wisconsin's in there. Arkansas's in there. Arkansas is another one that I could see making a really good run. Like Elite Eight, Final Four, be kind of hilarious if they won it all. I don't think that'll happen. But Arkansas is playing some really good basketball. BYU's in there. Zaga's in there. And Purdue. So that's the West. And then the South. Number 1 seed, Florida. Unfortunately, I don't think Florida is going to get upset by one of those lower seeds. However, they could between Clemson and Iowa. I think Clemson gets past. Vanderbilt's in there too. Be funny if they have to meet again. North Carolina, Illinois, Houston is the number 2 seed in the South. I honestly think so. My Final Four, my non-blue glasses Final Four, I have St. John's, because I think Pitino could coach them into a Final Four. Houston, Arizona, and then I have Texas Tech as the 4th. Now, Texas Tech is not as good as they were without JT Toppin. JT Toppin got taken out with an ACL. A lot of players have had ACL injuries this year. BYU's Richie Saunders did. JQ already had an ACL injury coming into this, so I don't really count that because we already knew that. But like, just some really, really, it breaks my heart when that happens because these kids they work so hard and then one injury and they're done for the year, and maybe they come back and they do it again. You just never know. I wonder if it's a shoe thing. A lot of them don't wear high top shoes, but maybe it's not. I don't know. I have no idea. Just a lot of ACL injuries. But that's my Final Four. I got St. John's, I got Houston, Arizona, and Texas Tech. Those are my 4 non-blue glasses. I'm excited. This is going to be a fun tournament. This is my favorite time of the year. This is what I call Christmas, my Christmas, really. And I will watch most of every game, flip back and forth on them. They start tonight with the first 4. We've got, who are the first 4? I know Texas is playing tonight, trying to play their way in. We have UMBC versus Texas. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. No. UMBC versus Howard. And then NC State versus Texas. I have UMBC and I have Texas. I have to go with the SEC school. For the first 4. And then tomorrow we have Miami of Ohio versus SMU, and I think that's Lehigh versus Prairie View A&M. I've never heard of them. Hey, y'all, I'm so happy Miami of Ohio got in. I really am. Going 31-0 in a season is very, very hard. I know they didn't play anybody good, honestly, but I'm glad they got in, even if it's the play-in game. Like they deserve it. They really do. Because it's hard. That's hard to do. It really is. So congratulations to Miami of Ohio. We'll see what happens tonight with those first four. And then we'll start all the games on Thursday, starting at 11:15 Central Time. And then Cats play on Friday. All right. Until then, let's go Cats!